That's me before dawn power wash.
Soaking, scrubbing.
That's life, was life. Now power wash gives me the power of an overnight soak in minutes. I'm sorry, minutes? With 3 cleaning boosters not found in traditional dish soaps that help break down, loosen, and lift away food and grease.
We never expected this to happen, and we were clearly overturned in the beginning. We lost a lot of men that day. I'm sorry, I can't do this. The Confederacy was outnumbered. The Civil War occurred due to the number of states seceding, and because Abraham Lincoln wanted to get back to the unions the states once were. The Civil War included a series of battles. One of these was the Battle of Gettysburg. Our army should have done better. We just couldn't.
Thanks for that very cool reenaction. Anyways, I think that we should have won. I mean, what kind of army kills half of the other army's side? I lost one of my best friends that day. But it hurts to know the fact that if we succeeded, all of this, the whole war, would have been... Let's think about it. This area was Union territory, meaning that they had a greater access to resources. The enemy could not be avoided. After all roads lead to Gettysburg. Anyways, I'm gonna pass it to, I forgot his name. Fred, I think that's his name. Yeah, anyways, I'm gonna pass it to Fred, who's kind of like deceased, anyways. But yeah, I'm gonna pass it to Fred so he can do a very cool battle plan.
Now, there were some obvious flaws. Even though the Confederacy had the stronghold in the beginning, this failed once the Confederacy decided to attempt to recapture the lost ground on day 2. This lost many men within the Confederacy, and not wanting to be completely abolished, Lee retreated. I think that the main problem was Lee's overconfidence. He should have understood the area and enclosed the Union in a small part to then overpower them instead of trying to venture off vulnerably. I mean, in total, there were over 51,000 casualties. Now, let me show you a true battle plan for the Battle of Gettysburg. Hello, I'm Fred, the Confederate civilian, and you guys will be helping me choose my general for my reenaction. I don't know, reenaction would be the best word, but like readaptation of the Civil War to hopefully let the Confederacy win. Here's a table of contents with the 1st Corps. We're going to be covering all these corps, by the way. 1st Corps, 2nd Corps, and 3rd Corps. And I didn't add in the 4th one because they don't come until the 2nd day. And we can't really choose where they go. Yeah, I think we're only going to be relying on these 3 mainly. And also the cavalry, I didn't really include them because there was only one of them. And yeah. So for the 1st Corps, it was commanded by Lieutenant James Longstreet. There's a photo of him right here. He graduated from West Point, showed bravery in the Mexican-American War. He had good performance in the 7 Days Battle. He contributed to the Second Bull Run in Fredericksburg. He had great leadership at Antietam. Lee considered him his old war horse, and he also questioned Lee's decision with high casualties at Gettysburg. I rate him a 7 out of 10. 2nd Corps. This was commanded by Richard S. Elwell. He was known as Baldy to his friends. He attended West Point and graduated 13th in his class. From 1843 to 1845, he served on escort duty on the Santa Fe and Oregon trails, which probably means that he's pretty trustworthy, knowing that the government had put him on escort duty for those two trails. He had prior experience in the Mexican-American War, like all of them. He was at the skirmish of Fairfax Courthouse and he was wounded. I don't know, maybe that might influence his battle ability, his commanding ability. He was commanded at a brigade at the First Battle of Bull Run, but saw little combat. He also served alongside Stonewall Jackson, commanded his troops successfully in multiple battles, and captured a large federal force. And here's an image of him right here. You can see that he lives up to his name of Baldy. I rate him a 9 out of 10. Third Corps. This was commanded by A.P. Hill. He resigned from the U.S. Army, served in the Mexican-American War, and the Third Seminole War. He graduated from the U.S. Military Academy. He served gallantly at the Battle of Williamsburg and during the Peninsula Campaign. He was considered important to Stonewall Jackson, and he also played a critical role in the Battle of Antietam. Also, ignore that change in font. I forgot to change it, and I don't want to refilm all of this. So here's an image of him, and yeah, I rate him 5 out of 10.
I gotta tell you something.
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm blocked.
What? Girl. Me too.
So here is day 1, battle plans for Gettysburg on the Confederate side. We're going to be using different colors to represent different corps and different sides, Confederacy and Union. We are going to be taking the dark red, and we are going to be representing the dark red as 2nd Corps. There's going to be another lighter red, which we're going to show later. There's this peach color that's going to represent the 3rd Corps. There's this green color that's going to represent the cavalry, and the blue color is going to represent the 1st Corps. There's also going to be the white color, which is representing the Union which is facing against the Confederacy. There's going to be a lighter red, which is going to represent the entire Confederacy as a whole. Now, the entire Confederacy as a whole is going to be moving from the south towards Gettysburg, like the south of Gettysburg. And they're going to be moving towards Gettysburg. Now, we're going to take the 3rd Corps and we're going to slightly move them towards Gettysburg. Not that close that it'll be obvious to the Union that the 3rd Corps is there, but just a little bit where we can create a boundary. We're going to make a wall right here. The 3rd Corps is going to split in half, and they're going to make another wall right there. And the 1st Corps is going to be doing the same exact thing. They're going to be splitting away from the unit of the Confederacy, while the others reside there, the cavalry and the other corps. And they're going to be making a wall, just like the 3rd Corps did, and splitting and making another wall. This will benefit later when we're trying to ward the Union away from Gettysburg. Now, the Union will later be coming in from the north, and they will be heading towards Gettysburg. They will probably plant themselves along the lines of Gettysburg. They're probably also additionally going to have watchmen watching out, probably setting off alarms if they see any Confederates to let the Union know when to attack. So, while we're building these walls, we're also going to send some cavalry around the area to scout for these Union watchmen. We will be sending some cavalry to the west to hopefully scout for Union watchmen. We will also be sending the cavalry in different directions, but mainly towards the west. We're also going to be sending a few cavalry soldiers to hopefully scout for that 1 4th Corps that we're still waiting on. We're going to be sending some towards Gettysburg and away from the whole unit. We're also going to be lighting a fire to hopefully send a signal and attract the Union via smoke. So they will probably head towards the fire, thinking that it's either a forest fire or the Confederacy setting up camp. The Union soldiers will probably clash into the Confederacy. Some might go around and head towards that fire. Now, we're going to have that additional second corps that we didn't mention earlier, and we're going to have them go towards the north part of Gettysburg. Now here is day 2. We have these positions set up like we did in previous day 1. We're just residing here for now. As you can see, the Union soldiers, the watchmen, are no longer there. We have the pink representing the 4th Corps. They just arrived. Yay! Now we have another corps that we can use for defeating the Union and getting a hold of Gettysburg. They show up with some of the cavalrymen that we sent off there. And basically what they do, what we're going to tell them to do at least, is try to stay there at least. Stay there. And what we're going to do is try to lead the Union away from Gettysburg to hopefully run into that 4th force and the other corps. And then we can attack and overpower them. So first we're going to move the blue, which is the 1st Corps, and we're going to move them away from Gettysburg to tell them that to stay there, right? We're going to send one 1st Corpsman to tell them to stay there. And now we're going to take one of those 3rd Corpsmen and we're going to basically send them. We're going to sacrifice them. We're going to send them into Gettysburg, not attacking the Union, but kind of like leading them, tempting them away from Gettysburg. They're going to see them, and the 3rd Corps is going to run towards, like, not really run, but like dash towards the 4th Corps. And basically we're going to lead the 3rd Corps away from Gettysburg along with the Union. We're going to be going from the north end of Gettysburg. We're going to be going through Gettysburg. Now, while this may be a risky option, it's probably the best choice that we can make. Now, the Union's obviously going to attack, but we can, instead of colliding with them, we can actually go around. And those walls that we originally built will keep the Union intact. Avoid from them sprawling across and attacking the 3rd Corps directly head on. So, now that we've tried to center the Union away and we've successfully got the 3rd Corps out of Gettysburg, the Union's probably going to come out of Gettysburg as well, and the 3rd Corps will continue heading towards that 4th Corps. And the blue will also come in, 1st Corps will come in and go surrounding that 3rd Corps to add additional forces to hopefully attack that Union. We're not attacking yet, we're just running towards that 4th Corps, and once we reach that 4th Corps, we're going to attack. Now, the 2nd Corps is going to also come around, and they're going to join in as well. Once they join in, we're all going to lead the Union as a whole towards the 4th Corps. And once we do that, once we lead the Union, we can then make the decision to attack. The 4th Corps is also going to move up a little, and now we're going to attack. We're probably going to overpower them, which leads us to day 3. On day 3, we have successfully overpowered most of the Union, so the whole Confederacy is going to move towards Gettysburg. We're going to move towards Gettysburg as a unit, and there's probably going to be some Union left over staying there in Gettysburg, and they're probably going to try and flee. But no, they're not going to be able to, because in advance we're going to have the cavalry get over there and block them from trying to flee. And once we do that, they'll be blocked. They'll be trapped, basically, from the Confederacy and some of the cavalry. And now that happens, we'll wait to see what happens. Now, they're not really in Gettysburg yet. Once they actually reach Gettysburg, the Confederacy and the cavalry, they will trap the Union in, right? And they will attack inside of Gettysburg. Probably the people aren't there anymore. I don't know what happened to them. Let's just say it did not end well for them. We're gonna attack and probably win victory because we have more men, we can attack them, and we have stronger forces. And that will lead us to victory, in my point of view. First up, we have the artillery reserve. we need these for weapons, so I'm going to put them in the middle where they can be kind of easily accessible. Now I'm going to make a few pretty colors to represent the different corps. That I have all the colors picked out, I'm going to explain what each of them are. The yellow one is for the cavalry, green is number 1, the teal is number 2, dark blue is number 3, purple is number 4, violet is number 5, pink is number 6, and red is number 7. I'm also going to make a black color for men who are going to be on the lookout, and when they see the opposing side approaching, they're going to shoot a flare gun. These people will also be kind of throwing explosives at the other side, so then we can lessen their numbers by even more. The other side may have better generals than us, but if we outnumber them to the point where there is no way to win, we should win. Bombing these forces will strengthen our strength in numbers, unless they have Superman in that army, or John Wick, or Doctor Who, or, something like that. Once the Confederate forces have been bombed, then it will be the army's turn to attack. So now that we have that out of the way, I'm gonna sketch out where everything's gonna be pretty much. I'm gonna create what is essentially a barrier around Gettysburg. Now that I have done that, I am going to use the color white for the Confederate forces. So, let's say that's the Confederacy, right? So after the bombing, if they were to run away, then we would use our cavalry. I'm gonna put the cavalry kind of spread out behind the other forces. This is so that if the Confederate forces try to run, then we can have the cavalry go out after them on their horses. When we have it this way, hopefully the cavalry will be able to catch up to them, and I don't know, maybe take some prisoners and stuff like that. So what if, instead of running away and scattering, the Confederate forces try to regroup? If this happens, then we can have the outermost corps, which in this case would be Corps 1 and Corps 5. We would have these forces go over to try and help the others keep the enemy from getting into Gettysburg. Once this has happened, we will now have success, and my plan will clearly be victorious. Unfortunately, in order for this plan to work, we need good generals. This is why I have created a basic overview of each of them. One was run by General John F. Reynolds. This general is not a complete idiot. He graduated 26 in a class of 50, and he won in the Battle of Fredericksburg. He may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but he should be able to get the job done. General Winfield Hancock is in command of Corps 2. This general actually wasn't that bad either. He was able to do fairly well in the Battle of Williamsburg, the Battle of Churubusco, and the Battle of Chancellorsville. Regis de Trobriand has said that General Hancock is one of the most handsomest men in the United States Army. He is tall in stature, robust in figure, with movements of easy dignity. In action, dignity gives way to activity. His features become animated, his voice loud, his eyes are on fire, his blood kindles, his bearing is that of a man carried away by passion, the character of his bravery. General McClellan has also said that this general was superb. Based on this information, I can conclude that this general will be an excellent addition to our forces. The general in charge of Corps 3 is Daniel Sickles. This is one that I would not want in my army. General Sickles actually argued over the orders given to him at the Battle of Chancellorsville. Then when he was at Gettysburg, he disobeyed direct orders. I just think that when you're commanding an army, you need people you can rely on. In Corps 4, we have General George Sykes. During the Mexican-American War, Sykes participated in the Battle of Monterrey. It was there he got promoted to first lieutenant. I think we can keep this guy. For the next corps, we have General John Sedgwick. He was brevetted 3 times for his actions in the Battle of Contreras, Churubusco, and Chapultepec during the Mexican War. His men also successfully stormed the Myers Heights above Fredericksburg, so he's got to be a pretty good general. For Corps 6, we have General Oliver Howard. This general graduated 4th in his class. However, during the Battle of Gettysburg, his troops fled in confusion. In Corps 7, we have General Henry Slocum. This general does not seem all that great. His corps suffered heavy losses at the Battle of Chancellorsville, and he was apparently slow and indecisive during the Battle of Gettysburg. We then have General Alfred Pleasonton leading the cavalry corps. This general graduated 7th in his class and won in the invasion of Missouri. However, he also approved of a failed raid on Richmond. General Robert Tyler commanded the artillery reserve. This general was in command of the 4th Connecticut Infantry. It was recognized as one of the best in the Army under his command. Based on this information, I will be replacing General Sickles and General Slocum. I will replace General Sickles with General David B. Birney. General Birney was promoted to Major General for his actions at the Battle of Chancellorsville, and he was the one who led the corps after Sickles was wounded in the Battle of Gettysburg. I will be replacing General Henry Slocum with General John Gary. General Gary was said to have great fitness to command and promptness to execute. He was able to build his reputation well during his career in the Civil War.
I don't know what to say. My nation will be so disappointed in me. The Confederates, they conquered Gettysburg and now they won the war. Our nation was on its way to success. Hello, citizens of our country. As you can see, our nation has been broken. We pleaded and will continue to fight to put it back together, but there is not a sliver of hope. Let us make a perfect union.
You actually thought that this video was over? Well, guess what? It's not. You should have expected more. Anyways, we have a really cool music video. You should totally watch it.
Hey, this is radio station WSKE. We're taking calls on the wish line, making wacky wishes come true.
Hello? I wish I was a little less bald, or I wish I was smarter.
I wish I had won the war or the battle of Gettysburg. I wish I had my people more resources in the back.
A home base advantage. I wish I was like in control so I could win the battle and the girls, because they're really fine. You know I win all the time. Everywhere I go, and even in my dreams I can find a way to make it, because I know I got the numbers.
My generals are smart and they got heart.
So how am I going to compete with that? When it comes to making battle plans, I'm always last on the list, even though I've got some extra hands. So I'll just lean up on the wall, and I'll sit over there so I can listen to this information to win it all.
And all this stuff. And we get the countrymen. I tell them, Jack, get off the bobble. Don't want them in the union that I've been. Confederate for all that mess.
Wowzers, that was a pretty nifty video. But you know what isn't nifty? Plagiarism. No, plagiarism's bad, kids. That is why Amelia and I included all of our in-text citations in our script. Thank you for watching.